I feel that I'm full of fear, anger, jealous, all those things. How to go beyond all these things and to know this life to its core?
You don't have to go beyond all these things, you just have to stop creating those things. Your fear, your anger, all these are products of a mind which you have not taken charge of. Your mind is capable of producing joy, your mind is capable of producing fear, your mind is capable of producing anxiety, turmoil, tranquility, agony, ecstasy, it can produce anything. It is producing things that you do not want simply because you do not know how to handle it. There is no need for anybody to handle their fear, their anger, their whatever, nor is there any need for anybody to seek happiness or peace or joy or blissfulness. There is no need. All you have to do is, you have to spend some time, you have to do certain sadhana to find out where the keyboard is for this fantastic computer that is loaded on your head. You don't know where the keyboard is, so you're punching all the wrong numbers. So all kinds of things are happening. So either you can make this mind into a miracle, or you can make this mind into a misery manufacturing machine. So the misery in the form of anger, fear, you don't have to do anything about it. You just have to stop the production line, not the product. You just have to stop the production line and start a different product. You must see that joy is coming out of it, bliss is coming out of it, because the same mind is capable of that also. Sometimes you're joyful, sometimes. A young man like this. So it is capable of joy also. So you just have to… Jay is always here. You know the computer? That's where it is. If you do like this, like this, like this, misery, misery, misery. And if you hold one button, misery, 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 misery will multiply. You should know how to keep your hands off the keyboard and just punch what you want. Now, unaware, you don't even know where it is, it's punching. If you can't think properly, that's not where it is. Wrong buttons. So அப்படிதானே? அப்படியெல்லாம் வேலை பண்ணாது. இப்படியெல்லாம் பண்ணா மூளை வேலை பண்ற மாதிரி இருந்தா அப்படி பண்ணி போட்டிருக்கலாம். So, there is sadhana to take charge of your body, to take charge of your mind, to take charge of your energies, to take charge of everything that you are. Rather than taking charge of it, you are wishing for a nice product. It will not happen like that. Life has never worked like that. Not for anybody. Never ever has anything worked for anybody by doing all the wrong things. Unless you do the right things do not happen to you at all. Well, see, this is a certain framework of not just of bone and muscle and flesh. There is a certain energy framework. Only because of that it takes, certain form. See, if you eat mangoes every day, and let's say a cow eats mangoes every day, at some point will you or the cow get confused whether you're a cow or a human being? Or will the cow get confused? Such a thing never happens because there is a clear-cut inner framework to which flesh and blood is added. But there is a framework, an evolutionary memory framework is there, it never gets broken, isn't it? So in this framework, how strong you keep this framework, how much integrity is there to this energy framework will determine many things about your life, many aspects of your life. Especially if you want to raise this life to another level of function, it's very important you maintain this integrity. This is why, irrespective of which religion, which spiritual process, if people want to raise themselves to a certain point, first thing they will talk about is becoming monks or brahmacharis or sannyasis, because the idea is to create such a level of integrity that this is a whole life by itself, that it doesn't lean on anything else for support, either for physical well-being or emotional well-being or psychological companionship. It doesn't lean on anything, it stands by itself because you want to take it somewhere else. If you want normal function, these things are not necessary. Now you want to become a rocket which breaks through a certain dimension of space. Now you need to be in a different level of force and integrity, otherwise it'll crack up. So you don't want to open your body to anything, and especially opening to multiple partners has its own negativity in that context. How much pain, and you look at Draupadi's life, how much volatility, how much pain, how much suffering she went through in her life, and how much pain and suffering she caused because of her anger and jealousy and whatever else. So, these things happen for variety of reasons. You can't blame everything on that one aspect, but that aspect also has a say in these aspects because you're opening up your memory body, your energetic body, which is essentially ruled by memory, to variety of memories. This will cause a whole lot of turmoil within the system, which could affect that life and many other lives. So Draupadi's life is in a way a sample for that. It's not an absolute. This is not an absolute, but this has an influence.
Thank you, Sadhguru. We see that people who want to have children but are unable to conceive one themselves invest a lot of time, energy and money into fertility treatments when there are so many kids around the world who are waiting to be adopted. I understand that adoption is not the cure for infertility. It is though the cure for childlessness. So if the purpose is to rear a child, have a child, love a child, provide a home, why not just adopt a child who's already waiting for a home and to be loved?
See, already many doctors and organizations are trolling me and putting me on fire because I said first thing in India is you must close down all these damn fertility clinics. When the country is exploding with population, God damn it, you have fertility clinics, you need an infertility bomb. So because I said this, I'm in a lot of trouble. Now you try drawing me into more trouble. Yes, this problem again goes back to the first question. This is because you're so horribly identified with your own biology. It has to come out of your body, otherwise it's not yours. It is such a gross way of existence. Unless it comes out of my body, it doesn't belong to me. Well, you're married to a man or a woman, they didn't come out of your body. No, but our bodies are meeting, that's why. See, the identity has become so grossly biological, unless in some way it's biological interaction, it is not really a relationship. In fact, today, everybody, all of you have picked up these words from America. It just used to surprise me, but now that is the usage. If somebody says, I have a relationship, you're supposed to understand that they have a sexual relationship. Well, I have a relationship with you sitting here. This need not be body-based, yes or no? We're looking at each other, do we have a relationship or no? But why only body-based relationships are relationships? Isn't this a relationship? Hello? Your relationship With biology, leave it. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters, leave that. Your friend, is this not a relationship? Huh? Your milkman who comes and pours milk and makes your life going today, is this not a relationship? Isn't your taxi driver a relationship, I'm asking? No, no, you're not supposed to say that. If you say relationship, people will assume you're sleeping with them. Yes, unfortunate, isn't it? Relationships are of many kinds. Human beings can form varieties of relationships. But right now, unfortunately, we think only if bodies come together or only if something comes out of this body, it's a relationship worthwhile. Other things are not relationships. No, we have to change this language because this is causing a lot of, pain to people because body is the front end. See, body is the front end for every other creature on this planet. The only reason this creature is dominating this planet is not because we have the best body. You're not comparable to an elephant or a tiger or anything for that matter, you're not even as good as a buffalo. Yes, in terms of strength and physical prowess, you're nowhere comparable. This is dominant because of its intelligence, this is dominant because of its consciousness. But right now, we are creating a world where your biology is the front end of your life. This has to change. Because the biology is the front end of your life, you think your child means it has to come through you. Not that natural childbearing process is a bad thing. It is just that if you were a tiger, if you were a tigress, I would say please go to the fertility clinic soon. Because, it's becoming extinct, huh? Their numbers are dwindling and they may disappear. But human beings, just too many. We are nice, but we are too many, aren't we? Hello? We're just too many. In the beginning of 20th century, we were just 1.6 billion people. Today we are 7.6 billion people. In 100 years, over 4 times. But in India, of course, we do better than others. 1947, we were 33 crores. Today we are 127 crores. 70 years. Well, this is not just because of excessive reproduction, because our life expectancy has improved. In 47, our life expectancy was only 28 years of age. Today, it's reached somewhere around 66, which is a phenomenal achievement for the nation. It's great. But what I'm asking is, if you postpone death, should you also not postpone birth? Hello? This is not a philosophy, this is not ideology, this is simple arithmetic. Yes, this is simple arithmetic. If this many people were exiting, you're in a college right now, this year how many people exit, that many people they will admit, isn't it? Doesn't that work for the globe also, for the planet also? This many people exited, so this many people should come in. If you say this, you think, are you doing animal husbandry with us? Are you doing Hitler's business? This is what… oh, this is Nazi talk. Well, you multiply unconsciously, nature will do it in a very cruel way one day. Yes? If we don't consciously take steps as human beings, nature will do it one day in a very cruel manner. And that cruelty won't come like bang like that, it happens slowly. Rushing happens slowly. Already it's happening. Farmers are committing suicide, students are committing suicide, all kinds of people are doing all kinds of things. Why? Somewhere life is becoming hard, isn't it? Though as a generation we have highest levels of comfort and convenience, life is becoming hard simply because of the concentration of population. We are doing all kinds of ecological nonsense. But right now United Nations is making a prediction by 2050, we will be 9.6 billion people. Madam, you have to raise your floor, 50 floors. No, this won't be enough 50 floors you must raise because they will be full like ants everywhere. 9.6 billion people, nobody can live well on this planet. Instead of making a prediction like this, we will be 9.6, why can't we plan? By 2050, we will be 3.5 billion people. Oh, what should we do, what should we do? If you don't do anything, population will go down.
My next question to you, Sadhguru, is when something bad happens to somebody and we know that it's always on their conscience, they're thinking about it a lot of times, but eventually there comes a point where they are ready to let it go. But somewhere there's a guilt that if they let this thing go, like something that's troubled them for so many years, there's this guilt where they don't want to let the past go because they feel guilty of letting it go. So why does that happen, and how do we let go of that guilt? Like, even if we take, for instance, sexual abuse, if a girl is sexually abused and eventually if she reaches a point where she's ready to overcome it, but she feels guilty to let it go because it has troubled her for a very, very long time, and not just her, the ones around her as well. So is it right to let it go at that point, or like how does one deal with a situation like this?
See, I think the struggle is coming from a misunderstanding that something either unpleasant or terrible that one may encounter in one's life, it can just happen to anybody in so many different ways. If it happens, people think they must forget it. No, you should never forget it. If something terrible happens to you, you should never ever forget it, because if you forget it, you may walk into it again. But we must know the distinction between what is memory and what is living. You are living. Memory is a dead memory, you're supposed to use it as wisdom to see such things don't happen to you in your life. But it's a fact that for most people, what happened 10 years ago, they still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. Yes or no? What happened 10 years ago or even 10 days ago does not exist right now, does it? Does it? No. What may happen day after tomorrow does not exist right now, does it? No. So you're suffering essentially something that does not exist. How many of you are psychology students, huh? Is there a medical term for those people who are suffering something that does not exist? No, don't tell them please, they'll suffer that. If you are suffering something that does not exist, on some level it means insanity, isn't it? This may sound very cruel to you right now when I say this, because, oh, I got my pains. See, you're carrying your pains like badge, don't do that. When something bad happens to us, when something hurts us, we can either become wise or wounded. This is a choice we have. Either we can become wise with it or we can become wounded with it. As we already went through this, life is just a certain amount of time. It's ticking away. As you sit here now, you are 1 hour closer to the grave since you came here. Yes or no? Yes, it is. It's going away for all of us. So in this, where is the time to carry every experience like a wound? No. This must become your wisdom. If terrible things happen to you, you must become wiser than others, sooner than others, isn't it? But unfortunately, most people choose to become wounded simply because, again, in our systems of education, we have done nothing about the nature of human mind. We are busy studying frogs and cockroaches and trees and chemistry and physics and planets and everything. No attention to the nature of this one. So we don't know how to use our faculties. The greatest faculties that you have right now as a human being is, you have a vivid sense of memory. Everything that happened, you can remember as if it's alive right now. Yes? There is a repository here, there's an archive in your mind which can replay the whole video if you want. But this has become a problem. You started suffering the old movies. And there is a fantastic sense of imagination, so you already suffer a tomorrow which is yet to come. This is basically because we have not taught our children and people in the world how to employ our faculties, how to use our memory, how to use our imagination, how to experience life right now, how to sharpen the experience now. Your whole life is happening between these three dimensions: memory, present experience and imagination. This is your life, isn't it? These are three dimensions. We call them trikala, three dimensions of time. All your experience of life is happening here. But if you lose distinction between what is past, what is present, what is future, then everything hurts. For not everybody, terrible things have happened. Unfortunately, for a few people, they have happened. But the rest of the people are simply suffering something, isn't it? Because it's fashionable to suffer. Just people think if they're suffering, they are very intellectual, they're very profound. No, it's just stupid because you're suffering something that doesn't exist. You're not suffering what's happening right now. You're suffering what happened yesterday and you're suffering something that may happen tomorrow already. So this madness has been encouraged simply because we never train people how to use their faculties. Do you agree with me that this human machine that you carry and I carry, this is the most sophisticated machine on the planet? Hello? Have you read the user's manual? User's manual, have you read? No. When are you going to read it? On the last day? If you get a phone, if you buy a phone, should you read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're discarding the phone? Earliest, isn't it? Within the first day you must read, then only you can use this phone well. The same goes for this. If you do not understand the nature of what this is, how will you put this to use? It is consuming you, your own intelligence is consuming you. You can call it stress, anxiety, pain, suffering, whatever. Essentially, your intelligence is turned against you, that's all the reality is. If your intelligence was working for you, taking instructions from you, you would keep yourself blissed out, wouldn't you? Hello? Your intelligence is turned against you. Why has your intelligence turned against you? That's what you need to look at, not about carrying these stupid things that have happened which should not have happened as badges in our life. This may get a lot of women against me. If I was against you, I wouldn't be here. Yes?
My next question to you, Sadhguru. How does one decide whether one should or should not have premarital sex? And does it prepare us for a better marital life?
See, different people are made differently. This happened. There was a little turtle, baby turtle. With great difficulty, it climbed up a tree, went and sat on the edge of a branch and jumped, fell flat on the ground. Again, it took another 24 hours for it to slowly climb, get to that branch, again jump, again fell flat. Like this, day after day it was doing. Then there were two birds in the opposite tree, they were sitting there, and among themselves they shook their head and said, "I think it's time we tell him he's adopted." For everybody, we are trying to draw the same prescription. This is not going to work. Because I've seen, every day I'm meeting thousands of people, they're poor, their problems on me, all kinds of stuff. What I see is all these people who talked about great amount of freedom, when it comes to their personal lives, after 30, 40 years of marriage, not 2, 3 years, after 30 years of marriage, still what the wife did or the husband did 35 years ago, still point of conflict. Have you seen or no? You have also seen. So when you know this is the state of human mind, you must know what to do and what not to do. It is not a question of morality, it's a question of what kind of life do you want to craft for yourself. It's about that. Is it a morality? Is it that nobody should get into anything or everybody should get into something? There's no such thing. What kind of life are you wanting to craft for yourself? A kind of life where your relationships mean really binding yourself in such a way that truly you can depend on yourself, or it's like visiting restaurants every day, you want to taste something new and see, but you could get very unhealthy with that. There are some people who stick to their home food, though it tastes about the same every day, but those people are generally healthy, isn't it? This is not… I'm not trying to teach you a moral class. I'm not a moral class person, but these kind of things are happening in the society. People are trying to draw prescriptions. Everybody must do this, otherwise you're no good, or everybody should not do it, otherwise you're no good. No, that's not the way. There was a time in this culture and in every culture, by the time a girl is 15 or 16, she was married. By the time a boy is 17 or 18, he was married. Now, because of our education systems and professional requirements, and society has changed, everything has changed. Because of that, average marriage age for girls is around 24 in this country right now, and for boys it's crossing 28, 30. The peak of hormonal impact on human life is somewhere between 15 to 30. After that, it's not the same thing. So, this is at least something we must debate. But we should not be hasty to draw a conclusion, this is the way, that is the way. We must give enough awareness to people that they don't get into something compulsively which they regret later. If consciously, if people see that this is the way I want to craft my life, that's up to the individual. But there is no common prescription, there should never be a common prescription. Because individual requirements are very different.
We have a few questions that were posted on social media and have become very popular, like they were popularly
Questions
asked.
have become popular?
I mean, a lot of people had asked those questions,
Okay.
That's what I meant. So we have a few here today that we wish to ask you. So the first question, I'll take the first question. This question is from Subhashish Mukherjee, and he says, I want to know the truth of black magic. My non-Bengali friends believe black magic has come into existence from West Bengal. How much truth is there in this?
It's a very Bengali question, The truth they're not asking how much truth in the black magic, they're asking whether it came from West Bengal or not. Well, Kerala people believe it came from Kerala. It's little fishy, both the populations. Lot of fish in them, you know. So, at one time in this country, as you have a family doctor, they used to have a witch doctor. Almost every family had somebody to consult on these kind of aspects, because these arts were so widespread. Did it originate in Bengal? Did it originate in Kerala? No, I think it survived more in Kerala and Bengal today. In other places, it's gotten little wiped out. Essentially, what you're talking about is occult. Occult is a certain technology that you can use your energies to create certain impact. But unfortunately, it's gotten very negative press because market was for the negative. So people used it more negatively than positively. It could also be used positively. It's like any other technology, you can either use it positively or negatively. Unfortunately, the negative usage became overwhelmingly larger than the positive usage. So people think occult means it's negative. No, the usage has become unfortunately negative. It could also be used in a positive manner. When I say it could also be used in a positive manner, you can transform life with it. You could… make people… help people out of their health situations, out of their psychological situations, various things could be done. Instead of that, because the market is mainly for the negative, somebody pays you to cause detriment to some other life at the benefit of somebody else's… to somebody else's benefit, to your detriment, somebody else's benefit, it is being done. Because of that, it's gotten a negative image. Occult is like this. See, right now, all of you have a phone. Suppose you had a phone 100 years ago, cell phone 100 years ago, you could claim you have occult power. Because you could just take this and speak to somebody in America, everybody, woo, they will shiver, okay? Yes or no? So, occult is just technology. You could communicate, you could use your energies to communicate with somebody. But as modern technology becomes more and more subtle, the need for occult is receding quite a bit, because so many things that we used to do in occult today can be delivered. You can send a WhatsApp message, you don't have to sit there focusing to send a message to somebody anymore. It took a lot more energy and time to do that. Now, message goes. So, messaging business has completely fallen out of occult. Otherwise, occult was mainly used to deliver messages to people in a different way. You have heard of telepathy and not telecommunication, telekinetics and various other things where things were done from a distance. But today all those things are being done by regular technology, so occult or the requirement for occult is withdrawing. The need is just going away and probably most of it will go away. There are a few things that one could do, but above all, if we created a society that whatever is given to you, you will use it in a positive way, occult can be a tremendous possibility, as technology can be tremendous possibility. As I mentioned earlier, most of the technology is used for developing arms and armaments and bombs and nuclear bombs and more destructive things. The same thing could have been used for something else. Absolutely, positive things could have been done, but that's not been done because the market is for the negative. Similarly, the same things have happened to occult. Your Mukherjee friend, well, I think from what I hear, I think Kerala tops in the occult practices even today. Next comes West Bengal. Next, probably some northeastern states have this, but they're very rudimentary occult. Kerala occult is quite sophisticated. You will see a lot of occult in North America, in the North American tribes, but very basic, mainly messaging occult. But now they all have smartphones, so it's all going out. I think Kashmir at one time had a lot of occult. Bengal, Kerala, Northeast, well, some parts of Andhra Pradesh and Orissa, but now market is done.
Next question, sir. What type of food we should eat so that our life reaches its full potential for a college or a school-going student? And it's by Spurti.
Oh well, we must understand this. Food is not a religion, food is not a culture, food is just a fuel for this machine. Yes? There may be cultural aspects to the taste, there may be even religious tinge to the food over a period of time, but essentially food is fuel for this body. So with what kind of food will it function with minimum struggle within itself and maximum impact? So suppose you buy a petrol car and pump diesel into it, it may still roll around but not at its optimum. Similarly, various foods you can eat and still somehow it functions. But those communities which have eaten with care, you can clearly see a distinct difference in the way they function, the levels of intelligence and whatever. So in India, we prescribed food for different people in different way. If you're doing menial jobs, you eat one way because you need physical muscle. If you are doing other kinds of trading and other kinds of activities, you eat another way. If you are a fighting class, you eat differently. And now if you are into education, spiritual process and subtler aspects of life, then you eat differently. Now that you mentioned students, I believe you're in education. Yes? Okay. If you are in education, one of the greatest challenges is to stay focused on something. The goddamn textbook, I'm sorry, the wonderful textbook that is written for an average intelligence. It's a common prescription. It's not written for the brilliant student. It is written in a way that it's a common prescription, everybody gets it. But that textbook, how much effort it is taking for a whole lot of people. How they have to read it 10 times to get it. But you lie down in your bed and read a love story, you remember every word, huh? Yes or no? How come? So you don't lack memory, you don't lack focus. It is just that textbook and you, chemistry is not working. So, what you need is a higher level of focus, a higher level of involvement. And another great enemy for a student is, because this textbook is such a tranquilizer, the moment you open it, go to cinema till 2 a.m. you're up, open the textbook at 9 o'clock, right there, you smash into it. So sleep is another big enemy. So what kind of food do you eat so there is no inertia in the body? In yogic way of seeing things, we are looking at tamas, rajas and sattva. Tamas means inertia, rajas means activity but no balance, sattva means absolutely balanced kind of energy. When you're in education, you need a very balanced kind of energy because you have to focus on something which doesn't naturally interest you. It's not…
If you made it this far, it's because something spoke to you on some level. Let us know where you're watching from, subscribe to the channel, check out the links in the description for more reflections. Because honestly, very few people make it to the end. Thanks, big hug, and see you in the next video.